If you're using Fusion 360, you know that the updates keeps on coming. Are you wondering what features you might have missed that came out in 2018? Don't worry about it. Let's go through them quick here. Episode 3. Hi everybody, in this video I will go through my top 10 new features from last year. That will be 2018. I know you are extremely busy and you might have missed some of these and they could probably be pretty helpful. Now I'm gonna go through the list fairly quickly, so be ready to stop and rewind and go back. Also, I will reference the live streams that I did on that specific topic last year. So down in the description area, you will find not only my email address, I love any future topics you would like to see, but also the live stream list. There's 198 of them. So if you click on that playlist, then you can go in and find each of these different ones as you want to dig deeper into them. If you like what you see, do me a favor, thumbs up. If you don't, hey, thumbs down. Be honest. But with all that, let's jump into Fusion 360 and go through these in no specific order, by the way, I should say. So we are going to start with this part. This was a part we did in live stream number 135. Don't forget that link is down in the description area for that playlist. Now, what was new in 2018 was that if you did a flat pattern, that's flat, you can now export this part out as a DXF. This is super useful if you, for example, want to get that flat pattern out to a water jet or a laser. Number 2, now there was a lot of drawing enhancements in 2018 of Fusion 360, so definitely go and check out a lot of the what's new content if this is where you work a lot. But what was new that I think a lot of us appreciated was in the drop down, there is now a print. In the past, you had to save it out as a PDF and then print that, but we got the print button in here, so that was nice. Number 3 was that the whole command inside of Fusion, found out under Create and Whole, got also the threads inside of it. Now, in live stream number 155, I talked about making holes with CAM. So if you are into CAM and you're trying to do some thread milling and different things, you might like live stream number 155. But what was really neat about this was that if you go in and you use the hole command to create a hole, you now have the different thread types in here that you can apply to that hole. I have to admit that if you are looking at the part here I have on the screen, that this was done in the mold tutorial I did. I actually drew every single sketch, extruded a hole, and then put threads into them. But of course, with the new feature in 2018, having that thread inside of the hole feature definitely makes life a lot easier. Now the sun is shining in on me here. Whew. A little overexposed. Number 4, I'm gonna jump back to sheet metal. There was a new function in 2018 where you can mirror a sheet metal. So let's take a look at that. So I'm gonna go from the model over to the sheet metal workspace, open a new sketch here on the side, hit L for line, and I'm just gonna draw, make sure I get a horizontal line going from here to here, and maybe go up to there. Hit D for dimension, and let's make this 80, and let's use the equal command right here to make these two equals. Now, if you are familiar with the sheet metal, you know that the next command you normally will use is the flange command. If I click on that and I click on my sketch entity here, drag the blue arrow out, I will get a sheet metal part here that now can be flattened, just like we talked about before. We can go up here, we can hit the flat pattern, select whatever base we want to be flat, and now we have a flat pattern of that. Now, also be aware that flange command is extremely powerful inside of Fusion, and I've talked about that in numerous live streams. You can literally just go ahead and create multiple flanges here, and they did a great job, I think, with how the development team created all these different flanges. Now you will see that we get a warning up here, and that's just because it needs to update the flat pattern as we're going along here. Now, what was new in 2018 was that they gave us the mirror command in here. So we can just click here, mirror. We can select bodies and mirror over, for example, this internal face right here. And we now have a mirror of the two, but it's super handy. Now, you will see over in the bodies folder that it is as two different bodies. What actually means that when I flat pattern this, it will only show you one half, because that was kind of like what the flat pattern was created from. So this is great if you are creating two, if you're gonna cut out two different pieces and then weld them together, that when you are hitting that flat pattern, you're only getting one half. Now, I can hear one of you guys being like, well, that's great, but what if I wanted to have them to be one? Don't worry. Fusion is awesome. Jump over to the model space. Go over to modify, hit the combine, and combine the two into one body. Go back into the sheet metal workspace, and you will see we now only have one body. And of course, if I right click here and I update the flat pattern, what do you think happens when we go and we flat pattern it out? Well, then we have both of them there. So pretty neat for 2018. The sheet metal team, development team, definitely did some good stuff with this one. This next one here is for all my CAM friends. And again, a lot of changes in CAM, but this is just like one of my highlights. And that was that in the adaptive, we now got both ways inside of the passes tab. What does that really mean? Well, let me just show you. If I go in here and say that we are going to just, let's do this in CAM. If we don't have it checked, hit OK. You will see that we get a tool path where it's going to come in and it's going to climb cut, go around one edge, and then it's going to lift up and go back and climb cut again. So you have these rapid moves in here. New in 2018 was that they added this both ways in the passes tab. You can check that, and now you are going both ways. Now, be aware of that you have an optimal load the other way. Let me just show you what I mean by that. If I go in here and I simulate the tool path, and let's just wrap it to that second tool path, and if I go to information, you will see the feed rate here as it comes over, it rabbits down, and then it's going to start cutting at 36. Now look, when it goes backwards, it is going at a lower speed, 33. And you can see down here that it has reduced on that spindle speed right there. The reason for that is that if you are using adaptive both ways, you are climb cutting and conventional cutting, right? If you have done any milling, this should be somewhat familiar to you. And when you are conventional milling, you normally want to turn your feed rate down. Now, there was made a couple of videos on this, so if you want to dig more into this, search the YouTube and you should find some good stuff about this. Number 6 on my list is that UI change that I just talked about in the last video. So the UI, or the interface, is changing inside of Fusion. You can click Preferences. You can go into Preview right now, and you can turn that UI preview on by clicking here and apply it. Watch the last video that was posted here on the channel, and you will see that. Live stream number 192. This was the most requested thing on the forum, and that was short customizable shortcut keys within Fusion 360. I'm not going to go too depth into it, but the idea is that if you click on any of the different icons inside of Fusion, you'll see the 3 vertical dots right there. Click on that and go in, and you can change the shortcut key to pretty much whatever you desire, besides a couple of Windows shortcut keys that we can't overwrite. You're pretty much set to do whatever you want to do with shortcut keys. Livestream number 192 will take you through that. Don't forget the link for the playlist is down in the description. Another thing that might snuck by you in 2018 is the new control point spline was added to the software. So a regular fit point spline is what we have always been pretty used to. It means that you click a couple of points, and then you get these handles that you can drag. You can move them up and down, but you can also make them shorter or longer. Don't forget that if you ever work with splines, I'm a big fan of using like horizontal and vertical constraint to these items to kind of control them a little bit better. New in 2018, they also added what is called control point splines. Now, I am not going to tell you that I am the biggest expert in the world to splines, but this is a spline that is easier to control than the old-fashioned splines here. So definitely be aware of, if you're working with that the control point splines are in there. We're almost at the end. Second to last thing I want to talk about, and I think this one was big for us, at least internally at Autodesk, and that was we got the generative design workflow inside of Fusion 360. So there's a new video coming up on this shortly. Check out live stream number 175 if you want to learn more about utilizing simulation software to make your designs better. One that might also snuck by you is that the fillet command got some new functions in it. So if you go down, you click the drop down and you hit fillet, or just of course the shortcut key F, you will see that the menu changed. You actually have a couple of different options in here between a standard fillet, rule fillet. You can see you have constant radius, you got chord length, all different kinds of things happen inside of the fillet command. Primarily what have happened is that you can now select multiple edges in here, and you will see that we can add a fillet to this one. Now we can move on. We can actually say we want a new selection in here, and then we can select more edges on the corners that we now have an option to make a different size. So you will see that the first one we put in a 5, now these are 15. You can actually now add multiple fillets within one command. So we can just keep on going here. Hit the plus sign, we can add an internal fillet right here, and we can make that 1 maybe. And you will see that we get all the different ones within one command, one feature. Super nice. I think that was 10, but I just want to leave you with one more. And this is one that I'm going to have to create a new video on because I have actually not covered in a live stream. That is the new function Derived. Now in live stream 190, I talked about how to utilize and reuse parts in multiple different assemblies. So having a library of parts and maybe utilizing them other places. This new Derived function, sitting right over here under Create Derived, let you do that in a pretty neat way. Video is coming on it, but let me just get your taste buds going on it. If I take this top plate here of an assembly, I might know that I need to use this top assembly or this part in other assemblies. I can now highlight it, go up, and I can say I want to derive it. Now, when I derive it, I can choose to create a brand new design for it or add it to an existing design. I'm going to say create new just to show you quickly what it does. It's going to open a new part with that part in it. Now, what is happening is that any changes that I am doing here will come to this part. See how there's a little arrow over there? But any changes I'm doing in here will not go back to the original part. What do I mean? If we go in here and we create we make this part active, and let's just draw a sketch on top of this face here. C for circle, and let's extrude that up. I'm not going to fully define it. Extrude that up. So now we have a start. If I decide to save this part, then you will see in our part over here, we get a warning. If I update, then you will see that start gets brought into this new part. So if you have like this is maybe the master model, that anytime you update the master model, it will push out to any part or assembly that this component is sitting in, what is super awesome. On top of that, if I decide now in this new component to, let's draw something else in here. Let's do a quick rectangle, P for project, and let's just put that right on the midpoint from here to here. Stop the sketch. If I decide to do an extrude cut, let's go symmetrical. Whoops, what am I doing here? Symmetrical. Let's do a cut through this part. When I am making the change here, save this part, it will not go back to the original seed part right there. I hope this was useful. Hopefully there was a couple of these that you either had forgotten about or maybe just need to go and check out and make your Fusion 360 experience better. If you like this, give the thumbs up. If you don't, be honest, man, give me the thumbs down. Absolutely appreciate all your feedback, all your comments. Absolutely love it. This is just an attempt to add a little bit more value to your Fusion 360 experience.